Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, people of all ages, it is Dean Meadows with Dean's Dialogue in association with the Daily Apologist, and today is Free for All Friday, which is quickly becoming my favorite segment because guess what I get to do? I just get to blabber, and I just get to talk about my week and some of the things that I've seen on the internet or some of the things that I've seen on our Facebook page, some of the things that have actually happened to me during the week in my engagements with people, and I just love it, and I hope that you like it too. I mean, because I really do. It gives me the chance to just blurb and blab and all that stuff. And really, today's focus is going to be on skeptics and credentials. So, as I talked about last Friday on our Free for All Friday, I critiqued a guy who made a comment about the Kalam on my post about faith in science. Well, lo and behold, that this past week I was sitting at my desk, and all of a sudden I get this comment from a gentleman who mentioned that I am I'm way out of my league on this stuff. He doesn't believe that I've read any of the literature and that I need to read the literature and that it's just pure hubris for me to say some of the things that I'm saying. Now, here's the thing about that is that for all of you who are listening, whether you're a skeptic, whether you're a Christian, whether you desire to be an apologist, whether you're about to go to college and take Philosophy 101, one of the ways to show people that you do not have a very good argument against somebody else's argument is to attack the person rather than the argument. That's called a ad hominem. And specifically, what this gentleman was doing was attacking the fact that I don't have credentials in something like cosmology, in something like physics. He presupposed that I hadn't read the literature. And then the funny thing was, I told him, I said, this is actually my thesis topic for Biola. I'm working on a thesis about B theory of time and the Kalam cosmological argument. Now, if you want more information on that, just hit me up on Facebook or shoot me an email. I'm not going to go into it right now. And then I just started to list off all the things that I have read and that I currently am reading, just to kind of show him that, I know that I'm a Christian, I know that I'm a preacher, I know that I go to Biola, but I actually have looked at this stuff, even though I don't have a PhD. But if the argument was really that bad, why did he come to me and talk to me about my credentials? Why didn't he just say, okay, well, what do you think about this piece of the Kalam, and don't you think that that's either something like begging the question, don't you think that this part of the Kalam where it talks about infinities is a little bit off? Or what do you think about the possibility of the universe being eternal? See, he didn't give me any of that. He just said, you pretty much, I can tell that you haven't read the literature. Really, really bad argumentation. But even in light of that, I have to say, I respect him. He's a very smart gentleman. And in an overarching manner, I really do love skeptics. And not just because they provide blog material and material for Free for All Friday and stuff to do videos on. That's not the main reason. Because they really do, and they really have helped me grow as a person, as a Christian thinker. And so, skeptics, and maybe even more specifically, atheists, right, are often stereotyped as these internet trolls who sit around with a bag of potato chips, hunting social media platforms, to argue on. Now, there is a small minority, who may fit that bill. And I think overall that's a gross misrepresentation of the skeptical community. In fact, engaging this community has been, like I said, has been one of the most rewarding things in my life. And now some of you are probably like, why in the world would you say that? How could dealing with people that don't believe in God and who say such things, if you've kind of trotted out, how can that be rewarding? Well, here are three reasons. You know, they've helped me become a better thinker. Right now, of course, the majority of the people who have helped me become a thinker, who have taught me how to think, not what to think, are predominantly Christian. But really, over the last 8 to 10 months, I have to confess, engaging members of the skeptical community, has helped me refine my ability to think through why I believe what I believe, and to gauge whether or not those reasons are good reasons. And so for that, I mean, I am incredibly grateful for the members of the skeptical community. And I'm sure that this is going to be a lifelong endeavor, because in engaging them and in forcing me to think through my beliefs, it's really helped me see that the Christian worldview is the correct worldview, that it is absolutely positively true. Another thing that I appreciate about skeptics is that, man, they are bold, and so that's one thing you really won't find in the skeptical community are pansies, right? They are some of the boldest people I know when it comes to defending their worldview and what they believe. They're confident in what they believe, and they don't hesitate to defend their beliefs. Now, obviously, some go over the top with their brashness and mockery and backhanded compliments, but doesn't every group have those? Most skeptics I encounter are polite. They're able to walk the line of being polite but bold, and they have a desire to have a meaningful discussion, and I applaud that. As far as one of the attributes that I admire about the skeptical community, because sometimes you don't see that in the church. Sometimes you see in the church, it's my way or the highway. Well, in the skeptical community, the vast majority of them are open to having that conversation. They're not just going to shut the conversation down because they hear something they don't like. And in a society that we live in the culture that we live in, that overtly panders and tiptoes around people because they're scared of offending someone, most skeptics I've met aren't worried about that. They have the ability, like I said, to walk that line of being very polite, very conversational, but are unwaveringly bold. And really the third reason is that they've helped me become a more patient person overall. So that group that I was talking about that takes it too far, I love them as well because they test my patience. Because here's the thing, as Christians, we're going to meet people all the time that are different than us. But the gospel requires that if we are going to have people change, then we have to meet them where they are so the gospel can change who they are. And we have to learn to be patient and long-suffering. And we all know people within our own families, at work, at school, and skeptics are no different, who push our buttons, who test our emotional limits. And too often, we shy away from engaging them because of that. But they need the gospel just like anybody else. And other Christians need to see an example of biblical patience. And that's something that I found a great compliment in. I had a brother in Christ contact me and said, dude, I would be blocking people left and right now. But I can't do that. I can't block the skeptic because I want to engage that person, but also I want my brothers and sisters to see, hopefully, the patience that I demonstrate with some of these people. So the more that I engage this community, especially the radical group, the radical section of this community, the more my ability to be patient grows. And so that just doesn't help me with specific types of people in the skeptical community, but people in general. And so, those are 3 real quick reasons why I appreciate the skeptical community. And here's the thing, engaging that community, and I'm not joking, I'm not trying to be facetious here, I'm not trying to mock. I'm just saying on a real level, on a personal level, on a spiritual level, emotionally, spiritually, engaging that community has been one of the best experiences of my life. It's caused me to think and question more about the serious objections to Christianity. It's molded me into a more patient person, and really, it's helped me become more bold. As someone who is in the realm of apologetics. Now, one thing I need to put a caveat on is that this isn't for everyone. Some people just won't be able to handle the instances when they come across that stereotypical skeptic, and they're just so mad. It's not for everyone. But here's what I also know. I know that the gospel has the power to save everyone, including the skeptic, but that can't happen if we don't engage them. So that's your Free for All Friday. Thank you so much for listening. And remember, equip yourself to engage culture.